Scout attention, color guard, advance. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join us in the Scout Oath. On my honor, I'll do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Please join us in the Scout law. Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Two.
Hi there everyone, and welcome to Pack 172. I'm your Den Leader Jackson. Special thanks to Sam and Ben Lampy from Troop and Pack 560 here in the Hawkeye Area Council for submitting this week's opening. If you'd like to be featured on a future episode, record yourself performing a flag ceremony and have your parent or guardian email jackson.wright@scouting.org. As you know, at the beginning of every Cub Scout meeting, we recite the Scout Oath and the Scout Law. But have you ever thought what those words really mean? The Scout Law has 12 points. Each is a goal for every scout. A scout tries to live up to the law every day, and it's not always easy to do, but a scout always tries. Let's talk about the first point of the Scout Law, trustworthy. A scout tells the truth, is honest, and keeps their promises so that people can depend on them. A reputation for being trustworthy is important to you now and in the years to come. Trustworthiness will help you make and maintain good friendships. But more than that, your honesty is a sign of your character, the kind of person you are inside. Your parents, teachers, and friends expect you to tell the truth and to keep your promises. They know that they can rely upon you to do your best in every situation. Of course, there will be times when your judgment fails and you make mistakes. Now and then that happens. Your baseball might smash a window. You might misread your map and come home late from a hike. If you quickly admit what you have done and make good on any damage, others will soon forget the incident. By learning from your errors, you can do better in the future. You must always have trust in yourself. You know that when you have done right and when you have done wrong. Live in such a way that you can respect yourself, and others will respect you too. Now let's get into this week's lesson. Every liquid is made of tiny particles that can be charged up and react differently depending on the liquid. Some liquids are acids, whose particles can create an element called hydrogen, and they can taste sweet, tangy, or tart. There are many acids that you probably enjoy drinking, like lemonade or pop. Some other liquids are called bases. A base has particles that create hydroxide, which has a very bitter taste. In this case, you would probably never want to drink a base. Let's learn more about acids and bases as we watch this short video. Acids and bases are two special kinds of chemicals. Almost all liquids are either acids or bases to some degree. Whether a liquid is an acid or base depends on the type of ions in it. If it has a lot of hydrogen ions, then it is an acid. If it has a lot of hydroxide ions, then it is a base. Scientists use something called a pH scale to measure how acidic or basic a liquid is. pH is a number from 0 to 14. From 0 to 7 are acids, with 0 being the strongest. From 7 to 14 are bases, with 14 being the strongest base. If a liquid has a pH of 7, it's neutral. This would be something like distilled water. Acids with a low pH around 1 are very reactive and can be dangerous. The same is true from bases of a pH near 13. Chemists use strong acids and bases to get chemical reactions in the lab. Although they can be dangerous, these strong chemicals can also be helpful to us. There are many strong acids and bases in nature. Some of them are dangerous and used as poisons by insects and animals. Some are helpful. Many plants have acids and bases in their leaves, seeds, or even their sap. Citrus fruits, like lemon and oranges, have citric acid in their juice. This is what makes lemons taste so sour. Our bodies use acids and bases too. Our stomachs use hydrochloric acid to help digest foods. This strong acid also kills bacteria and helps to keep us from getting sick. Our muscles produce lactic acid when we exercise. Also, our pancreas uses a base called an alkali to help with digestion. These are just a few examples of how the chemistry of bases and acids help our bodies function. Science and technology makes good use of acids and bases. Car batteries use a strong acid called sulfuric acid. Chemical reactions between the acid and lead plates in the battery help make electricity to start the car. They are also used in many household cleaning products and to make fertilizer for crops. For our activity this week, PAC 172's very own science expert, Sam, is going to be walking us through an experiment that you can do at home with a little help from your parent or guardian. Take it away, Sam!
Hi, Sam here, and I'm going to show you one of my favorite at-home science experiments. We're going to do some chemistry today and create a universal indicator using cabbage. Are you ready? We are going to be testing different substances to determine their pH value. A pH scale indicator tells us if something is acidic or basic. If something is an acid, it will fall on 1 to 6 on the pH scale. If something is a base, it will be an 8 to 14, and neutral is right in the middle. Scientists use pH indicators all the time to determine if something is an acid or a base. For this experiment, you will need red cabbage. I purchased some from the grocery store, so it's already shredded a bit. Water, a blender, 2 glasses, a strainer and a bowl to strain in, and the substances that you're wanting to test. Today, we're going to be using vinegar and baking soda, which is something most people have in their homes, but there are lots of other substances that you can test as well. For this experiment, first step, we are going to take our red cabbage and put it inside our blender. If you're using a head of cabbage, 1 or 2 leaves should be enough for what you're wanting to do, but I'm just going with a couple of handfuls. Next, I will be filling my blender up with water. Snapping my lid on tight. And then we are going to blend. My goal is to try to make this as liquefied as possible. So I'm going to use ice crush. Next, I'm going to be straining my water through a colander into a big bowl. I don't want the chunks really. What I want is the water that we blended up inside. We've taken most of the chunks out, and what we have inside is lots of really neat looking purple water. So we have our water here put into 2 glasses. I like using clear glasses so that I can see any color changes happening easily. I also have our 2 substances in bowls here to the side. The first one is vinegar. When I smell it, it smells pretty sour. The other is baking soda, and it doesn't really have much of a smell. We are going to make a hypothesis, our best educated guess, as to what we think the color is going to change to. If something is a base on the pH scale, it's going to turn a bit more blue-green. If something is an acid, my indicator should turn bright pink. So let's start with our baking soda right here. If something is an acid, it tends to taste sour and be a bit more tingly on the tongue. If something is a base, it will be a bit more slippery. Do you think that baking soda is an acid or a base? Are you ready to test? In our first glass, color did that change? It went more blue. Our baking soda is a base. So, what do we think vinegar is? An acid? Let's find out. It definitely is. It turned bright pink as soon as I put it in there. So you might be wondering, why does this even work in the first place? Red cabbage has a special chemical that can be found in its leaves called anthocyanin. That chemical is what changes color when it's exposed to an acid or a base. And scientists use this to make litmus tests or litmus papers that they can use to make experiments done in their lab. You can make your own litmus paper at home by taking our cabbage water, soaking some paper in there, and letting it dry. Then you can test it in acids and bases straight away. Other substances at home can be tested. Why don't you try with lemon juice or soda, maybe dish soap or shampoo, or even some crushed aspirin? But always check with a parent before you do so. I hope you enjoyed this experiment that we did at home. Have a great day.
Thanks so much, Sam. That was basically the coolest thing I have ever seen. That's it for this episode of Pack 172. Please like our Facebook page, subscribe to the show on YouTube, and tag Hawkeye BSA on Twitter with the hashtag Pack172 to share pictures or videos of your experiments, your favorite camp songs, and videos of you reciting the Scout Oath and Law. Until next time, keep washing your hands, keep learning, and keep on scouting. Bye-bye!